Shalom, Kal Halayim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Barakah, Kodash, Shalom, Wabarakim, Labakariam, Shal, Yasha'Allah, Washanya, Kabwad, Gadwala, Rakab, Zakwanyanawa, Bayat. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai, and the Holy Spirit. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel, and double honors to all elders and apostles of great millstones in these times. So brothers are out with another quick lesson. A topic that's kind of been going back and forth with a few brothers dealing with the carnality of these other Israelites out there. So I actually just wanted to jump right into it and give a quick edifying video, Lord willing, of this whole situation. So this is Proverbs 16:25, which says, "There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end therefore are the ways of death." Yeah, because these guys, they loading up guns and they getting, prepared, so to speak, like what they call Salakia is called doomsday prepping, for that day. So which means, man, they actually believe that the Lord's gonna bring these these um this destruction on this place. So they believe in these prophecies, but they don't have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to actually protect the men that he said he will protect. So it doesn't really add up. Now, UPK is heavy on that, they actually, like the brother Ratazar did a video. If you start this UPK video, as I will right now, you're gonna hear. See, they start off with this whole with machine guns going off because they want to come as this whole big militant, you know, um, Israelite, Black Hebrew Israelite group. This is not what this is about. We're not into any warfare of any kind. Now, these guys here, if I can get this to work properly, man, these guys are finished, man. Yeah, ISUPK. Yeah, they're super carnal. Now, I actually know this guy here personally, and this guy here personally. I believe he goes by Mashak, and then this is Nayatak. And I know them from the world. Back in Trinidad, we actually went to the same schools, and I actually got both of them to come up here and play collegiate soccer. Because I went to school in DC, and I was pretty good at soccer. So they kind of made me scout other players to come up, and I recommended, which I personally took the contract to this guy and signed it with him, and also with this guy, got him to come up here. Okay, so and I actually started to, you know, um, put them on, so to speak, to the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Back then I didn't really know anything. All I knew that I was very zealous towards learning this thing. Okay, and still being in the world, you just you're kind of looking, and UPK was the ones that was really kind of out there, and like they're Chinatown right here in DC. So I started going to listen to Yahana, and at that time he was on 8th Street over in Northeast DC. Um, and I used to go to class with Johanna. Sometimes I would be in class, it would be just me and Johanna. Or be me, Johanna, and another brother, Shemaiah one. And so I know these guys, and this guy right here, I was speaking to his, not to his brother, but a friend of his brother that's back home. And my friend told me, he's like, yeah, they called him, and he on video call, Skype, and he got up and he had, a gun. He was showing them like, he got up like he was sleeping and he had a gun in his hand as soon as he got up. And they asking like, oh, what's going on, man? Why you sleeping with a gun and stuff? He's like, oh, you gotta be prepared and whatnot and whatnot. So these guys in their minds, they really think that holding weapons in those days are gonna help them, and that's completely off. Okay, this Corinthians 10:4 says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty to Yahweh to pulling down of strongholds. Okay, and that's exactly what we're doing right now through the Spirit, the Rakakwadash, the Holy Spirit, and the faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We're pulling down the strongholds of Christianity. Okay, pulling down the strongholds of all these other lies that were pushed out there by the Edomites. Okay, and we're doing this through through the might of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, Second Corinthians 10:4, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai. So that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing, bringing down these imaginations, these things that exalt themselves, like Caesar Borgia, these things that was put up to make our people believe that we're black people, or that we're Africans, or that we're Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Haitians, you know, and we're bringing that down through the Spirit of the Lord. Now, this is such these men are so carnal, man, that they don't see, because I'll show you this right now. These guys are falling behind their leader. Now I'll show a clip of this is UPK once again being the niggards that they are. Okay, so yeah, Hannah said, yeah, and he's leading the pack. He goes about twice a month. Now, Scripture said, do everything unto edification and exhortation. How is this edifying to the body? You know, how is this? What is this exhorting? There's nowhere in the scriptures where the Most High tells us to go out and learn how to shoot guns or use our swords. He said goes out to the highways and the hedges, the highways and the byways, and push the word and tell the people that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Now, like I was listening to a few brothers said it, and it's true. It's nothing wrong if you have a sword or a modern day sword in a gun or a rifle, but to go out there and actually push that vibration, that's where you're going off. And there's that guy again, and he's just following behind, these guys. And if the blind lead the blind, they both fall into a ditch. These guys are in all black, okay? Brandishing the shield of David. They got their UPK stuff on their head, their scarves and everything. So they're not even going in there, being, using subtlety. They're just like straight up, like, because it's once again, it's nothing wrong with going to a gun range if you do have a weapon, but they're actually recording this. They're in full UPK gear, and they're just like they're proud with it, man, and they actually think this is gonna do them some sort of favors in the day of the Lord. And these Edomites are just looking like, what the fuck is going on with these guys?
Oh, I see. Is that like a security thing? Yeah, for self-protection. Yeah, yeah. Stigma is always, if there are guns, then black people must be doing something wrong. Even the producer.
That's the next thing, man. We're not
So
black
he
people.
innocently did it, but he
Okay?
innocently said to the guy at the counter, "Oh, these guys are good." It's an innocent thing, but it is the perception that is always coming down on black people.
We're not black.
We're the criminals. We're the thieves. We're the bad guy. It's almost as though being black, you can't legally carry guns. How do you think that stigma affects young black men in America? Like any oppression affects any man. If I shove you if every day you see me, I shove you, and I shove you, and I shove you. After a while, what are you gonna do? Shove back.
So Johanna there said, if I shove you and I shove you and I shove you, after a while, what you gonna do? Shove back. Then they clip, they cut, and they go to one of his goddamn dummies shooting this rifle. So letting them know like, hey, we're ready to shoot back now. So they're pushing this whole carnal aspect of they're ready for war. And this is a spiritual thing, like we just said. 2 Corinthians 10:4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds. So why are they doing this? Okay, Galatians 5:16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary, the one to the other, so that he cannot do the things that he would. Because these guys constantly, man, they're just in being in this carnal flesh is completely consumed these guys. And they're following behind the General Yohana. And look at him, he's just laughing.
I see you pretty good on that target, too.
You know?
Hey, my first rodeo, man.
He's just laughing. And this guy here, he just made a big joke about these guys at the end. When you look at the whole documentary, it was a big joke. He was literally laughing at the ISUPK. But Johanna doesn't care because Johanna is just in this for money. Okay? This is Romans 8:5. It says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. And the men of GMS, the brothers, the sincere Achium, our apostles and our elders, their minds are on the things of the spirit. Okay? 8:6, it says, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. See? Because the carnal mind is enmity with the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. Neither indeed can be. Okay, because this thing is a spiritual thing, man. You can't be doing things based on what you want to do and how you may feel and that's showing a lack of faith. You got to put full faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that He's gonna get you out of this. Now, to add to that, okay, I'll show this. Look now, I'll get this here real quick. This is Genesis 27:39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, this is Isaac is speaking to Esau here. Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above, and by the sword shalt thou live and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from thy neck. So Esau's blessing was the sword. Okay, so even on a carnal level, your guys are still, your guys are no match for Esau because he was blessed with the sword. The only way to combat Esau is in the spirit. This is what Esau has waiting for these guys. This is, this, and he's from the Lord. The Lord is going to make him do this to y'all, man.
What's coming up down the road and very quickly is the Harry Potter cloak.
What is it? With that fictional cloak, Harry isn't just camouflage, he's invisible.
My body's gone.
How invisible are we talking here? If I walked into a room with a soldier wearing one of these cloaks,
You wouldn't see him at all. He would be completely invisible to you.
this isn't make-believe. The military has seen the so-called quantum stealth technology. It works by bending the light around an object, even concealing most of a person's shadow. Imagine what that could do for a sniper hiding in a field, or the American pilots who ejected over Libya when their fighter jets crashed last year.
They could actually pull out, very similar to what they carry with a survival blanket, throw it over top of them, and unless you walked right into them, you wouldn't know that they were there.
So what was once firmly in the world of make-believe could quickly become quite real. The science is in the special fabric, so you don't need a power source or some instruction manual to make it work. Theoretically, any soldier, even in the most remote location, could quickly put it on and get it working.
So Esau is going to have his soldiers be invisible, and this was published, made public in 2012. So this is 5 years later, and if it was published in 2012, they probably had this technology, way back in maybe 2001, okay, or 2002, and now we're in 2018. So it's definitely they're gonna have soldiers. So what are they gonna do when they got people out there that they can't see? Okay, who's wearing stuff like this?
Logical novelty to many of us. Using a human's reasoning, a robot drops a bomb. But what about a human with all his reasoning, shooting a gun, facing down bullets, inside the robot? Think of Tony Stark. We all feel a little jealous when Iron Man barges into the bad guy's lair, ready for battle but fully protected and with superhuman strength and awareness. Well, the U.S. Army may soon have its own divisions of Tony Starks running around before you know it. Enter the Tactical Assault Light Operator Suit, or TALOS, currently under development. Most are calling it the Iron Man suit, though the Army does insist it won't fly. Soldiers wearing the suit will eventually have a powered exoskeleton for added strength, liquid armor for greater ballistic protection, built-in computers, night vision, GPS, sensors for monitoring vital signs, hydration needs, temperature control, and the ability to apply wound-sealing foam. 3 unpowered versions will be delivered for testing in just a few weeks, but the suit's full capabilities aren't known yet.
So, and once again, this was published in 2014, most likely. But I remember, okay, I used to work with one of these military, these one the number one military defense contractor in the U.S. and I watched the prototypes for these things when I just got on in 2009, 2010. Okay, and this was published in 2014. So I know these things exist. They're very much real. Okay. So did you hear all the technology that's on there? What are you gonna do to fight against that? Full body armor, okay? The ability to just walk into bullets. Okay? These
I'll tell you about one of the programs that we're really focused on. It's a program we call TALOS, Tactical Assault Light Operator Suit. Some have described it as kind of the Iron Man suit. This is a program that we started after we lost an operator on a mission. The first guy coming into a particular building was engaged, and unfortunately he was mortally wounded. And in the wake of that, we asked ourselves, couldn't we do better in terms of protecting him, of giving him a better advantage when he is at the most vulnerable point that we put our operators? The idea here is looking at all aspects of armor, visibility, of communications, of situational awareness, of weapons that we can look at to give that operator the advantage when he is most vulnerable. And so this is a project again that is very very interesting for us and is taking us in new directions. Now I want to provide a suite of capabilities for our units that can be employed by small teams out there operating wherever we put them. So, in this area we want to have a lot of different capabilities.
See, and they've been practicing these things for a while using Jade Helm, which Jade Helm pretty much is just that's martial law. That's what's that, and that's exactly what's about to come. So when you're out there, man, if you're putting your trust in guns, when Esau was blessed with the this blessing was the sword, then you're done, man. Imagine a guy in one of those Talos suits that's invisible, and you got a handgun or even an AK or a grenade. It doesn't matter. This is Titus 1 and 16. It says, they profess that they know Yahweh or the Most High, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. And that's exactly what UPK and I don't know the guy exactly who Brothers was actually started making the videos on, but this is what they are. They're just reprobates, man. You know, just against everything that the scripture actually is teaching about. They profess that they're Israelites. They profess that they know the Most High, but they deny Him because they want to take it into their own hands. 2 Peter 2:1 says, but there are false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, which is Yahana on both sides. He's a false prophet and a false teacher, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. You know, and that's what they're doing, man. And that's what the Lord's gonna bring on them: swift destruction, swift destruction, because these guys are completely bugged out of their minds, man, and they really think that it's gonna, you know, they can do something with some guns. Okay, what we here, we know that it's not about that. It's about building up your spiritual bank account. It's about constantly exalting the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and pray that in that day the Lord's gonna He's gonna have your back, as He said, as He promised. He's gonna take care of His men. We're gonna eat in that day. We're gonna be safe. Like the brother Pashai said, the troops could be coming right there for you, and something could happen where they go another way, or their weapons jam, or something passes by. The Lord sends an angel to destroy them, man. And you have to have faith in that. Okay, so with that, I just want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Double honors to all apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to all you sincere Aki. I'm pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. Shalom.